later on this year in October, there's I think a first for Calgary. The World Forum, a social enterprise World Forum, is taking place.
Just before the municipal election, but they told me I could come speak there anyway.
There's a number of people in this room and the city generally who are working very closely with Calgarians to kind of put social innovation on the map. One might cite this as an example of how people in Calgary and people in Toronto can work together, particularly in the area of innovation. I'm wondering if you can think of other ways in which these two great cities can jointly focus on innovation and work together on it.
I mean, I love that we're doing that work together on social innovation. You know, before I was mayor, I was a professor of nonprofit management and social enterprise. And social innovation is a huge deal for me, which is why I really want to come speak at that forum, even though it's just before the election. We'll figure out a way to make it happen. Because I think that's really important, because that's at the forefront of using creativity and knowledge to solve social issues that really impact on people's quality of life. So let me say I'm thrilled to hear that you're doing that. But there's lots of other ways we can do it, and this happens every day within the private sector. It happens every day in the nonprofit sector. Last night, as I got off the plane, I had the opportunity to stop by this fabulous night market run by Stop Community Food Center. And unfortunately, I didn't get to eat anything because I just ended up talking the whole time, go figure. But what we were talking about was how to export this concept of community food centers into similar neighborhoods to West End Toronto where Stop works across the country. And these are the sorts of things we need to always talk about and think about how we transfer that. It happens in the private sector every single day, every single day. You know, certainly there are incredible technology transfer, startup assistance, and so on that happens throughout. Our role, I think, as government is to find models that work. You know, Innovate Calgary, our version of Mars, isn't perfect, but they're doing some interesting, cool things. Mars is probably not perfect either, but is doing cool, innovative things. And I think learning from one another about this stuff is how we grow. And that's the nice thing about being in the Canadian family. We are not, at this point in our history, competing with one another. We're helping one another grow. A strong Calgary needs a strong Toronto, and I think vice versa. And I think that policymakers have by and large figured that out. Private sector has certainly figured that out. Nonprofit sector is lagging a little bit, but they'll get there. And I think we just seize that opportunity.